Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ashton Rank back with a new video, long form video this time, instead of my little shorts that I've been posting for the past week and a half. And in my last video, which only got one view by me, I did say each video would be better than the last, so here I am. I personally feel that this video is a lot better than the last, so I hope you guys enjoy. I currently have 5 MID AO stories for you guys with some Elden Ring gameplay in the background. I'm currently using my Moonveil Katana build, and I'm exploring the whole Lendil area, but I don't beat the boss this run. Next video, you guys will see me beat the boss. So hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into the first story. Okay, for the first story, am I the a-hole for being truthful and admitting that I found my wife unattractive after her surgery? My wife had plastic surgery recently. We had discussed it, and I was against it. It was not my decision, and ultimately, I had to say no. She looks weird now. She had a fat sucked out of her face, lip fillers, and a neck lift, and other stuff I don't really get. She gives me uncanny valley vibes now. It freaks me out. She is fully healed now and wants us to go back to normal, like initiating smacks. I have done so, but not as much as I used to, and when I try to, and I make sure there is very little light. It's been a few months, and I kind of dread having to look at her. Obviously, she has noticed. She's been bugging me to tell her what's up. I've tried telling her that I'm just tired from work or that I'm run down. Really, anything except for the truth. She broke down and asked me if I was having an affair. I said I wasn't. She asked me to look at my phone. I unlocked it for her and she handed it over. And I wasn't worried about her finding anything because there's nothing to find. She spent an hour looking through it and found nothing. She asked me to explain why I changed. I tried to explain that I just wasn't that interested right now. Nothing I said was good enough for her, so she kept digging. I finally told the truth. I wasn't harsh or brutally honest. I just told her that her new face wasn't something I found attractive and that I was turned off. She asked me if that's why I turned off all the lights now. I said yes. She started crying and saying that she needs some time alone. She went to stay with her sister. I've been called every name in the book since this happened. Her sister said I'm a piece of shit for insulting my wife's looks. Her friends all think I'm an asshole. I try not to say anything. I can't force myself to find her attractive. I still love her, but her face is just weird now. She looks like the blue alien from The Fifth Element. Okay, in my opinion, you definitely aren't the a-hole here. You did discuss your, before she even got a surgery, you discussed that you didn't like it, you don't find plastic surgery attractive, and you did say that I would not like for this to look at you. And is definitely your opinion. You're not entitled to find your wife attractive after dramatic changes to her face, especially the neck lift, the fat sucked out of her face. That can really just change what a person looks like and just pretty much remove all the emotions out of someone's face. So you definitely aren't the a-hole for finding her unattractive. But at the end of the day, you can't really control what your wife does to her own body. So your wife isn't the a-hole for getting it because she thought that, hey, maybe this make me look better for you. I think her intentions were she just wanted to look better for you, but in return, it just made it a lot more worse. So I think my solution to this problem would be try to find a middle ground between it. I think some plastic surgeries are reversible. So if you guys both agree, you can probably find a way to reverse some of the effects. So hopefully, I know it won't go back to normal, but it'll be a little bit below normal. So that could fix some issues. And I guess you're gonna have to sacrifice on your end. Stop turning on the lights. Start being a more initiative. Even though you don't find your wife attractive enough, that isn't what marriage is all about. It's kind of just about the love. It's a fight every day. So I get it that you don't find her attractive or you don't find her face attractive anymore. But at the end of the day, if you truly love her, you're gonna find a way to stick through it. But hey, okay, that was pretty interesting. All right, for the next story, am I the a-hole for telling my husband that he absolutely ruined the birth of our child? Already a bad start. Hi everyone, our daughter is now 8 weeks old. So obviously this whole argument has gone on a very long time. We've both been holding grudges and neither of us think that we are wrong. My husband does not know I'm posting this, so I'm going to keep this as anonymous as possible. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, my husband started and immediately told me that I should have a home birth. I really don't know why he was so adamant on it, but he was. At first I brushed it off and told him I'll think about it because I was only 6 weeks along during the pregnancy and the birth seemed so far off. Of course, it came quickly, and my husband would literally speak over me at the doctor's appointment when my doctor asked me if I had a birth plan. This caused a few arguments between us in those 39 weeks of pregnancy, but I never really changed my mind. And eventually, my husband's mother sat me down and told me all the reasons why I did not want me to go to the hospital for birth. I expressed my concerns about, safety for the baby and myself. But just like that, my husband just like my husband, she brushed it off. I ended up telling my husband that I would take myself to the hospital when it was time and that I did not want a home birth. He acted as if I didn't hear me. We met for a doula who was also very pushy. I felt overwhelmed and not supported at all. I was 36 weeks at this point. So when I went to labor, I was 39 weeks and I absolutely begged my husband to take me to the hospital where my doctor was. He wouldn't. He spoke to me condescendingly and called the doula instead. I was in labor for about 3 days, active labor for around 22 hours. I cried the whole time. I just felt something was wrong. I was scared and often times they left me alone. The doula told me that if active pushing in labor reached 24 hours, I had to go to the hospital. I remember thinking that I could not decide which was worse, stay in the labor for another 2 hours or have my baby right there. When she finally was out, I don't remember wanting to hold her. I just remember crying out of relief. Obviously, I am okay now, but I did not have a good experience. On my first appointment after birth with my doctor, she was very shocked I had the baby. She was concerned and I was so upset. I told my husband that he absolutely ruined it for me. I truly never want to go through that again. I hear my mothers say that they forget all the pain the second time about when they had the baby, but I didn't. I love my daughter so much, but it was horrible. It was entirely his fault. So I told him that several times. He rolled his eyes every time, and he tells me how mothers are strong and how that not being strong, how I'm not trying to be strong. I told him that if we ever have another baby, which he wants, that I will never do a home birth again, ever again. His response is, we'll see. I cannot possibly be the a-hole here. Can I? Everyone around me is acting like this is so normal, but it's not, is it? Okay, in my opinion, you were definitely not the a-hole here. Your husband and his mother are definitely like a danger to you and your child, because since it's your body, you pick what happens to it, pretty much. Like, I don't know what I'm saying pretty much, but like, yeah, like, since it's your body, like, if you don't want a home birth, you're not gonna have a home birth, because at the end of the day, your husband isn't giving birth to his baby. Your husband isn't having a baby in his belly for 39 weeks and pushing it out. And the fact that you were in labor for over 3 days and active labor for 22 hours is really insane, because I'm not sure the average labor time, but I know it's nowhere near 22 hours. So your husband is definitely the a-hole here, and the fact that he just kept continually disrespecting your decision at each stage of the pregnancy is honestly mind-boggling. And that the fact that he got like multiple people to continue the same disrespect, his mother and the doula, to constantly keep disrespecting you, is actually insane. If I was you, I would possibly be considering divorce here, because from the way your husband's acting, I feel like this is not the first time he's like disrespected you. I feel like it's been a lot of little disrespects, but now this is like the first huge disrespect to yourself and to your own body that you finally realizes. I feel like if you let this happen or you don't do anything change, he's gonna keep doing this because he knows, I can keep pushing you around. So I think the first step is to really have a sit down and talk to him, and if he doesn't want to change anything, really be considering couples counseling or divorce, because this cannot continue. And I understand if you never want to have like another baby again, because that 22 hours of active labor is really insane, and that makes no sense on why your husband's so adamant on it, since he wasn't the one giving birth. So that makes really just no sense on why he cares so much about this whole thing. I think there's definitely like a deeper reason for it, so I definitely probably asked around, but my two main options, if I was you, is couples management, and if he doesn't, or counseling, or if he doesn't agree to that, just divorce, because really you cannot continue with someone who just blatantly disrespects you like that. But that's a pretty interesting story. Let's get into the next one. Okay, now for the third story. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband I told you so and laughing at me when he got the paternity test back? I, 27F, have been married to my husband, 28M, for 2 years and gave birth to our daughter 5 weeks ago. I'll try to keep this short so I don't waste your time with any irrelevant detail what happened, but that our daughter came out with blonde hair and pale blue eyes. My husband and I have brown hair and brown eyes. My husband freaked out at this and refused to listen to my explanation that sometimes babies are born with lighter hair and eyes that get darker over time. He demanded a paternity test and threatened to divorce me if I didn't comply, so I did. After my daughter and I got home from the hospital, my husband went to stay at his parents' house for the first 3 weeks to get some space for me. While I recovered, he told me what was happening. My mother-in-law called and informed me that if the paternity test revealed that the daughter wasn't his, she would do anything within her power to make sure that I was taken to the cleaners during the divorce. I had my sister to lean on and help me take care of the baby during this. We got the results back yesterday, and my husband came home to view them with me. I was on the couch in the living room, so he sat next to me, and when we started to read the results, they showed that he was the father, and my husband had a shocked, kind of mortified look on his face with his eyes wide as he stared at it. I couldn't help but said, "I told you so," and started laughing at the way he looked. My husband snapped out of shock and got mad at me for laughing at him. We argued for a bit, which was mainly him yelling at me before my sister came downstairs and my husband shut up. After that, my husband went back to his parents' house to clear his head. And 2-3 hours later, my mother-in-law called me to scold me about laughing in my husband's face because apparently it was kicking him while he was down. She also left a few nasty texts essentially saying the same thing this morning. I don't think I'm in the a-hole, but I'm the outsider perspective on this. Personally, you're definitely not the a-hole here. Yeah, as you said, yeah, some babies are just born with lighter hair and eyes, and they do get darker over time. And the fact that your husband just jumped into this was so actually crazy that he just accused you of cheating right away. I feel like if the husband was so certain that you cheated, he could have done a secret paternity test, which would have pretty much solved the whole issue, which I know isn't good, but it would have solved the whole, because if he had done this in secret and got the results down in secret and stayed with you, he would have figured out what he needed. He would have figured out the information he needed, right? Figured out if you had cheated or not without blowing up anything, right? So the fact that he just made a whole mess of this for pretty much no reason to, didn't even try to listen to you at all, and the fact he's just yelling at you is really abusive, which you should probably get checked out. And the fact that you're so chill about this is kind of crazy, because I feel like if I gave birth and my husband started yelling at me, accusing me of cheating because the baby didn't look like him instantly, right? And when he was proved wrong, he continued to yell at me after I started laughing at him because he was just stupid, right? I would be really kind of weirded out, because why are we yelling at me over this? I feel like there should be no excuse for a husband or even a partner just in general to be constantly yelling at their significant other. And the fact that your mother-in-law is just instantly just taking her son's side, which I get it's her son, but without even listening to your side is really insane. And her sending you nasty texts after being proven right, after you showing her that her son is the father is really just insane. Honestly, I feel like if this behavior does continue, once again, just like the last story, just kind of divorce, or at least bring up counsel or marriage counseling, because these type of things should not be happening in marriage, where your husband is yelling at you over little things, your husband's accusing you over cheating, and your mother-in-law is sending you nasty texts. But that's just my opinion. Okay, now let's get into story 4. Am I the a-hole for suing my cousin for $6,000 to pay for my hearing aids after he threw me into the pool? My family is all on my cousin's side for this issue, and I wanted some outside judgment. My cousin 25M has always been the golden child of our generation. He's funny, good-looking, and outgoing, not to mention a boy amongst girls. He's always loved to mess around and play pranks. For the record, I really dislike this cousin. I think he's irresponsible, childish, and annoying. I have hearing problems for years. I recently got a $6,000 pair of hearing aids. Recently, at my grandmother's birthday party, we were all eating and drinking on the back porch. My grandmother has a pool. My cousin decided he was going to throw me in the pool because it would be funny to ruin my hair that I just got done that day. I repeatedly told him to stop and put me down in a serious and very not playful tone. He threw me in the pool and my hearing aids were ruined. Afterwards, when I told him what happened, he basically said, "Whoops, didn't know you had hearing aids now." When I told him the cost of them, he said that he would have to replace them. Then he freaked out. He said, "No way." My family didn't want me to make him pay for them because I significantly earned more than him and everyone else in the family. He was in college at the time, barely making ends meet in a call center job. His girlfriend and him have a baby, and they live in a 1-bedroom apartment. He refuses to pay, so I took him to court. I won. He refuses to make the payments after all, so I took him back to court, and his wages are now being garnished for the maximum amount, which is 20% of his total wages. It pushed him over the edge of what he could afford, so he had to work extra hours and drop out of college to be able to pay their rent. My family is absolutely fuming at me. I think he made one bad this choice after the other, and now has never given a sincere apology during this whole ordeal. He had a real apology after the incident and asked if he could wait till after he finished school to pay it back. I would have been fine with it, but the entitled prig is digging his feet in at every move. Am I the a-hole? The only reason I could see me being the a-hole is because it's affecting his child and his girlfriend. I would say it's a mixed type of situation, because on one hand, they kind of screw his entire family over. Yes, he is definitely the a-hole in the situation, because like he did throw you into the pool, you did tell him not to, and your hearing aids got destroyed. But I feel like there definitely could have been a better way to handle this. Obviously, like you deserve to get your hearing aids paid for it. I feel like you definitely could have made like a case, or at least like an arrangement with the whole family, that someone else in the family pays you back, and then after that he slowly starts to pay you back. I feel like suing him over court was a little bit excessive, since all the court fees and the lawyers definitely would have cost you probably close to that 6K. So honestly, I get your perspective of wanting to like just get what's right, but I feel you can't just screw over his child and girlfriend, which are two like innocent victims of the situation. But honestly, I guess what's done is done. But I'd say it's kind of a mixed situation. I just think you are not the asshole for wanting your money back and pushing him to get the money back, but I think you are kind of the a-hole for suing him and going back to court when he wasn't paying. I understand that he didn't pay, but you have to understand this from his situation, that he does have a child and he's barely making ends meet. So I guess I just understand both perspectives. Okay, for the fifth and final story, let's get into it. Am I the a-hole for laughing in my Sill's face when she DNA tested my daughter? I, 30M, have a daughter who's 6. I'm not biologically related to her at all. There's no blood relation between us. I was friends with the mother for most of my childhood. We were never involved romantically and were always just friends. She had a daughter at 23 with her 25-year-old husband. When my daughter was a newborn, about 3 months, both her mother and father were killed. I won't go into too much detail for privacy reasons, but it was a workplace shooting. My friend and her husband had worked in the same building and were both killed. Both my friend and her husband had grown up with less than ideal families and didn't have any siblings, so there wasn't any next of kin for their daughter to go. However, because I was close enough to them, I was able to adopt her. Even though I've been iffy about the idea of kids, I didn't want their daughter to grow up in foster care around people who didn't have a connection to her bio parents, so I stepped in. My parents and siblings know that my daughter is not actually my daughter, biologically speaking. My daughter, I'll call her Lily for the post, also knows that she's adopted. I didn't really hit the fact that she was adopted. She knows her parents are dead and were killed by a bad man, but I'm saving the details for when she's older. Lily does not look like me at all. She looks exactly like her mother and biological dad. Most people assume that I'm just her bio dad that just took her in after her mom. I don't really ever correct this when people assume because it just seems unnecessary. My brother has been with his fiancée for about 2 years now. A few weeks later, we were all meeting up at my parents' house, and my Sill saw an old picture of me and my friends and her husband. She pointed to my friend and asked who she was. I explained that was Lily's mom. Sill got quiet and stood in the front of the picture for a while. I didn't think much of it. To clarify, she knows my friend died, but I guess she didn't know that she's been married, or that Lily was not my bio daughter. I suppose she assumed my daughter was mine and my friend's biological daughter. My Sill got a DNA test done on my daughter behind my back. She used my brother's DNA for a test, and when it came back that they were not related, she knew that meant me and Lily weren't related. Jeez, sorry. She came up to me with the results and waved them in my face, saying that I was taking care of a dead woman's affair baby. She said this to me in front of my daughter. I just stared at her for a while before bursting out laughing at this. I told her that Lily wasn't my biological daughter, and that there's this thing called adoption exists. Her face went red and she stormed off. My brother is mad I embarrassed his fiancée, but I said that she embarrassed herself by DNA testing a kid that isn't hers and parading the results up to me. What did she want me to do? What was the goal with this? Did she want me to break down and abandon my daughter? My brother said she thought that she was doing the right thing and called me an asshole. I don't feel like I'm the a-hole, especially considering my Sill was the one who stuck her nose where it doesn't belong. I'm asking Reddit for my opinions, mostly just for validation. So was I the a-hole? Personally, you were definitely not the a-hole here. You did an amazing thing that most people don't do, was you stepped up and took a child that wasn't yours because you didn't want her to go through the adoption system, or like the parental adoption system, which is for a lot of kids really messed up. And I think you definitely are a hero for that. I think that the Sill is definitely the a-hole because, like you're saying, what did she expect was gonna happen? That you just leave the kid, or that you're surprised that you love the kid any less? I don't really know her overall game plan with this, which kind of makes no sense. So, and it was like, you definitely aren't a-hole here because you didn't like make fun of her. You just laughed at it because you just thought it was just stupid. It wasn't like you just invalidated her entire research, because like at the end of the day, she went behind your back, took DNA from your daughter without you knowing, took DNA from your brother, her fiance, or your fiance, and then tested it to see if they were a match, which is low-key crazy. She did this all behind your back. She didn't ask you any questions because it's all could have been solved if she just asked you, "Hey, is your daughter related? Why do you guys not look alike?" This all would have been solved by a simple question, but she decided to go behind your back and just try to pretty much ruin you. And the fact that she said this in front of your daughter too, it's not like she had a private conversation with you about it. I feel like she just wanted to like pretty much embarrass you. So you definitely aren't the a-hole here. But those are my 5 stories for today. I want to thank everyone for sticking in and watching these videos. Like I said from the first video, each video the quality will get better and better. We will soon get a mic so my audio will like sound better because I'm currently just using my phone. But as I said, yeah, each video will get better and my gameplay quality will get better. Just hold on with me. Each video slowly it'll be a slow rise. But once again, thank you all for watching. And this will probably be posted on Sunday. So I'm gonna try to keep a weekly schedule on every Sunday. I keep a long form video, and during the week just short form videos. So thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you all next week.